And welcome back. Happy Saturday, happy Labor Day weekend, everybody. This is your boy Grade A Fantasy with another episode. Now on the defensive position for the top values on FanDuel. So, seems like things are running on schedule. We're getting to the defense's values today. Like I said, by the end of the weekend, I'm still on pace for the running backs and wide receiver value videos to be done by Monday. I just and I just decided how to square this up. We are definitely gonna go running back first and then wide receivers last. So be on the lookout after this video. Be on the lookout for both the running back values and wide receiver values. Once again, still on schedule to be done either by Sunday night or by Labor Day, actually in the afternoon. But let's get to the defensive video first. Once again, we're looking at, top value. So in this case, I'm looking for any good potential defense that's a good pay down option from 3,900 and lower. And let's start here at the beginning. $3,900 New England defense against Vegas. Now, yes, Vegas is in somewhat of a rebuild, even though, they got Geno Smith, Ashton Genty is there. But pretty much it's not the most explosive offense. Geno is prone to, have mistakes. This is the second year, New England has, a better Drake May, so they probably have the ability to sustain longer drives, which gives the defense a lot of rest. And it's a home defense. It's not the possibly not the most turnover, producing defense. But I think if you're looking for a pay down and, maybe get a couple interceptions and a sack on Geno Smith, 3,900 isn't too bad with New England. As we keep scrolling down, my next available value that I do like here, we're gonna go down a little further, and we're gonna see a few defenses toward the bottom, and we have $3,400. And it's funny, we're gonna have a couple of defenses that are actually going against each other because of the opportunities that they have. Defensive wise, you have Jacksonville. They home against Carolina. Like I said, Carolina looks strong. But let's be real, it's not a juggernaut that you're going against. Bryce Young can still throw some turnovers. You might still get, like I said, he started getting better towards the end of the year, but it doesn't mean he's going to continue to progress up. Like I said, it's still an opportunity where Bryce Young gets sacked, throws some interceptions. Hey, Bryce Young could start this year like he started last year. So if that's the case, then you have the opportunity for maybe even a pick six or maybe multiple interceptions and a couple of sacks coming that way. Jacksonville looks good at 3,400. If we keep scrolling down, we're going to go to the opposite end. It's funny, we literally have defenses going against each other, which are the best values because there's opportunity on both ends. So in that same game, they're a road defense, but once again, New England's no juggernaut. They're still trying to develop Drake May themselves. So there could be mistakes made there. There were a couple of times last year that I did pick the Raiders and I did get them right a couple of times. Towards the end of the year, they were a great budget defense. They were no more than 34, maybe 3,500 these last 5 weeks of the season. And when you pay down, no, they didn't boom, but they definitely had some solid weeks. As you see here at KC, they got you 6 points, 9 points at Tampa Bay, home Atlanta 9 points, Jacksonville 6 points, and they boomed against 12 against New Orleans. So this is about the same defense. You have the ability to sack and pressure the quarterback. Like I said, anything that can get returned to the end zone is a bonus. But the Raiders are a good pick. I think you can get that kind of value. 3,200. You can get the 6 to max 12 points from Vegas against New England, even though they're on the road. And then I'll put an asterisk to it because, like I said, you are taking a risk. But hey, who says Jacksonville is very inconsistent? Like I said, this is the year that people are looking at Jacksonville to stay more consistent and be more on the rise. But like I said, you can still be shaking out the kinks even after the preseason is the first game of the season. Besides the few bombs that Carolina is susceptible to from Brian Thomas, yes, they can get to Trevor Lawrence. They could be able to get some sacks on Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence could throw some interceptions. 3,100. There wasn't really time that, Carolina was really anything to pick last year at all. Towards the end, they had a ceiling of 6, and then you see a couple minuses there. I don't think they had one double-digit game at all last year. No, they didn't. So if you're looking at, this is the ultimate pay down, and maybe you can get a couple of sacks, maybe an interception, and you hope they can give you 5 or 6 points, and maybe only give up, anywhere from 17 to 24 points to negate some of the minuses that, you lose the 10 from giving up points. And if they can get a couple turnovers, maybe a fumble recovery from somebody, Jacksonville's running back situation, you can get, ETN on the fumble, maybe Tanks Bigsby, something. You can get something out of there. Like I said, Jacksonville, not the most potent offense. They can score, but for fantasy value in DFS, Carolina is an option. But I definitely like the previous defense that like I said, if anything, if you're going down this cheap, I like the Raiders at 3,200 on the road. But like I said, Jacksonville at 3,400, and then right there at 3,900, you got the Patriots at home. Like I said, they did get Geno, but that's pretty much an average offense at best, because majority of that is going to be how much can Geno at least take the pressure off Genty, and can they balance out Genty being their future workhorse with a capable quarterback that can help sustain drives. So that is it for the defensive value preview. Next up will be the running back that could come out tonight, but most definitely it will be out tomorrow. There's a possibility that both the running back and the wide receiver value video will be coming out tomorrow in the afternoon. And then once again, like I said, we are on track for either a Tuesday or Wednesday beginning of the slate preview. Without a doubt, it will definitely happen towards the middle of the week. I should at least have a couple of positions down before the first actual regular season game of the season. So after the values, definitely look at quarterback. I could try and look at quarterback, running back. I should be able to get a few of those out. And then, like I said, as usual, get all the positions done with the regular season week 1 preview by Friday. That's the schedule that I'm looking at. So thank you for once again tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Also in the subscription, and not the subscription, but subscribe please. But in the description will be the link to the previous 2 videos when I put this up later today. So check those out if you didn't get a chance to look at the quarterback and tight end values. Once again, this is your boy Grade A Fantasy. Thank you for tuning in once again, and I'll see y'all next time.